Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be using some tissue paper that I found at Dollar Tree. I got this idea from Kristen K. I love watching her channel. Hello, Kristen. And she found some beautiful tissue paper at Dollar Tree. I was not able to score the same ones she was, but I did find some that I liked. And we're going to make some easy spring DIY home decor items today. So let's get started. I went on the hunt to a couple of Dollar Trees, and this was the best tissue paper that I could find. I really like it. I was hoping to find a couple other different prints, but that's what I found. And then I have these egg crafts from Hobby Lobby. I picked them up last year on clearance, so like when they were 90% off, and this is how they fit together, but we're going to do a little something with them first. But I thought these were really cute. They came in a set of 2. And even at just like the 40% off, which was what these would be like right now, still really not a bad price for a simple craft and an easy DIY that you can do at home. So I am going to give these a good coat of white paint. I think I end up doing 2 coats on the front, the back, and the edges. You're going to see a common theme in today's video where we paint things white, because if you're using tissue paper, you just want to clean, crisp background to make the tissue paper pop. If I was afraid with a darker background that it just would kind of wash out and mute the pattern. So white or another bright background could also be a good, something else might be a good idea, but I usually just go with the white. And then I'm going to give everything a coat of Mod Podge. Now, originally I was just going to do the side that I was planning to use the tissue paper on, but I decided to just do the whole thing to seal in the paint and then just to make sure the finish all looked the same. I wasn't totally sure how this was going to play out, but I'm going to take you guys along on the journey. So give it a good coat of Mod Podge and then let that dry completely. Once your Mod Podge is completely dry, you want to line up your tissue paper. Now, one edge of this had the print didn't go quite to the edge, so that's why I'm kind of being careful where I'm lining it up there. You don't need to be as particular as I am. I tend to be very particular, but it's not complicated. Don't complicate it. And then with a piece of parchment paper in between to protect it, I'm going to use my mini heat press. This is from HTV Rant, and I love this thing. If you have a Cricut, you probably have one of these. But this is very handy, but you can also use your household iron. Just make sure there is no steam. That's important. And I did that for a very long time, but I do like having this little handy one in my craft room. And then I'm just gently going to sand away the excess tissue paper, just sanding down and away so as to not lift it back up. Sorry if I sound a little stuffy. I am. My little congestion cold that I've had since December decided to make its way back just as it was leaving. So that's fun. I think it's the crazy variation in weather we have had lately. Anyways, so I'm going to do that, and you can see it does give you a nice clean edge. And then I am going to use an emery board in the center to just pull away that little excess that I let hang over. So that is a nice helpful tool as well. Sandpaper, I have the little finger sander I was using earlier. And then I do like to go back over it one more time with the iron just to heat that up and smooth it out. I don't know. I just feel like it helps seal it in after you do the sanding. And in case you aren't aware, the iron reactivates the Mod Podge. So that is why we are doing this. And it is a great way to get no wrinkles on things like tissue paper and napkins. And you can use it for paper as well. I'm showing you how I decided to do my pattern. When I went to put this together, I realized I was going to tear the tissue paper. So I don't always do a top coat of Mod Podge when I do the iron-on method, but because this was going to be scraping, I decided to go ahead and do that on all of it. So I'm going to do that and then let it dry, and then we will put pieces together. But you can decide how you want to do it, if you want the pieces that meet to be the same or not. But I decided to alternate the pattern and then white. And then I could not get this all the way down in. So I'm using my hammer with a little rubber piece for a mallet. That worked, but you'll see on the top piece, it's like a thick MDF kind of. And I was knocking over lamps and my lighting because of the hammering. But it split at the top. So not a huge deal, but it did split. So then I did the smaller one with blue tissue paper that was in that pack and white as well, just to have a different design than the first one.
But I did end up having some tearing. My head's going to get in the way, but I'm just going to explain to you what I'm doing. So I ended up having a little bit of tearing on the tissue paper, even though I had sealed it with Mod Podge. So as I was trying to fix it up and piece it together, where there was overlap, it was a little bit darker. And so that I was like, you know what? Let's make this on purpose. So I ended up tearing off little pieces and Mod Podging them on. And I actually really like this. I feel like it gave a little bit more interest. And it kind of looks like a mosaic type pattern. I did random pieces in random places, or almost like a stained glass look, except for that it's like all the same color but different shades. So that's how I fixed it. It fixed my problem. Perhaps if you did cardstock or like scrapbook paper and let it dry a little bit longer than I did, you won't have that problem. But when it tore, I found a way to fix it. And so I love how that looks. I don't know. Let me know what you think, if you think that was a good color or not. But I do love this flowered tissue paper. I think it is a very, very pretty. And I love this color for spring. Now I have a square piece of, I don't know, it was wood, or it was like a scrap piece of wood, or it was an old sign. I don't know. I like to make over old signs too, so I'm not really sure what this was, but it is painted white, and we're going to paint the front and back with Mod Podge just so that we have our good base for this process once again. Now this tissue paper is so pretty. I love this. It's got flowers and butterflies, and it's like pinks and purples, yellows, greens. Anyways, I think it's really pretty for spring. And I'm going to, once again, use the iron-on method. Once the Mod Podge is dry, tissue paper, parchment paper, iron, and then sanding off the edges. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Leanne, and I enjoy sharing budget-friendly DIYs here on my channel. I try to keep things simple and share with you some different ideas. And if you like that kind of thing, please consider subscribing to my channel before you leave so you don't miss out on my future videos. I would love to have you a part of my little YouTube family. Now, just for fun, I use the contrasting purple tissue paper that was in that pack for the back side, just to give a little pop of color back there. And then I put on this wood bunny from the Dollar Tree and hot glue that to the center of the pattern side. I think this is a really cute piece for a tier tray or something along those lines. I love the colors, but then the wooden bunny kind of tones down the bright colored pattern as well so that it's not just too much. So let me know what you think about this one. All right, so for this one, this is just a piece, I guess it's like a really thick cardboard piece, like a really thick cardboard piece that I pulled off a previous sign from the Dollar Tree, and I save everything. And this was the right size of something I needed. And I'm going to paint this side white. You'll see what we're going to do with the back side. I'm just using some acrylic paint. I am trying to use up the little bits and pieces of paint that I have so that I can buy some new stuff and clear out some space in my craft storage space. So I'm going to give it a coat of white paint and then some Mod Podge. You know the drill if you've made it this far into the video. And then we're going to do the iron-on method for the tissue paper once again. If you don't have this random piece off of a Dollar Tree item, you can use a little wood plank from Dollar Tree. You could use like a nice thick solid piece of cardstock, like a white cardstock, then you don't have to paint it. But I had this, so I was using it. For the back side, I'm just using my glue stick and this cardstock to kind of cover up that pattern, just because what we're going to attach this to, you will be able to possibly see it from the back. And so I just decided to make it look, a little bit more put together. And so I'm just gluing that on, trimming it off. And then I did use my little brayer tool to really press that on. And then I actually took it and stuck it underneath my container of scrapbook paper for a couple minutes until I needed it again, just to give that chance for the glue to dry. Now, this Hello Sunshine, wood pieces came from Dollar Tree. And originally I thought I was just going to leave them white. But then I decided that they didn't stand out enough. So you saw I pulled out a few different colors. I was trying to decide what I wanted to use that was going to go with the paper. I just didn't know what direction I wanted to go in, but I decided to do a purpley blue. And I really like to do this on certain projects, like more fun, whimsical projects. I mixed the purple and blue together, but not fully. So there's almost like a swirly tie-dye-ish color on the pieces because some is more blue and more purple. Anyways, I really like it. I thought it was cute. And then because these are so little itty bitty, I didn't want to use my hot glue on it. So I'm just using some glue. I don't even know what kind it was. It was from Dollar Tree at some point. And I'm just using a little paintbrush and gluing that, or brushing that onto the back and pressing that down to attach these words. And then I was thinking about adding a little bit more embellishment. These wood butterflies came from Hobby Lobby, a really great price for a whole bunch of them. I ultimately decided not to do that, but I wanted to share that with you. If you want to add a little embellishments or a bow, you do what you like. I have this little tobacco basket that I picked up after a Christmas clearance a couple years ago from Dollar General. I think I got it for like 20 cents. I actually got a few of them. And it was originally I had a couple that were like a natural wood color and then a couple that were red. Anyways, another piece of scrap I had in my stash was this piece of wood, and I hot glued that to the center of the basket, and then we're going to hot glue our sign to that. I just thought it would look really pretty lifted up off of the tobacco basket, but you could do some jingle blocks or just any little scrap pieces. I save everything when I take things apart from the Dollar Tree, and I get a lot of my stuff from the Dollar Tree. But I thought this was really pretty. Let me know what you think of this. This will look really sweet on a shelf. You could also put a hanger on it and hang it on the wall as well. But I like how I have a couple pieces that will coordinate. You get so much tissue paper when you buy the tissue paper, so it's easy to do coordinating projects. This birdhouse sign here came from the Dollar General, and they still have a lot of items that are $1. So don't snooze on Dollar General. I know sometimes they can be messy and chaotic, although Dollar Tree, it can be the same. But, you know, if you want to craft for good prices, you do what you got to do. So I picked this up on clearance, but as you saw, it was originally $1. The roof had already popped off while it was in my stash. I used my heat gun to warm up the sticker and the little wood peg from the front. You can also use a hair dryer. I did that for a while, and then my hair dryer got busted. Well, it was just old. It died. And so I got a heat gun because I don't actually use a hair dryer anymore. And then I sanded it down to just kind of rough up the paper. It was a little bit of a glossier texture, and I wanted the paint to stick to it better. Give it a couple coats of paint, and then a coat of Mod Podge. That was my cue for you all to let's say that together. But you guys can't see my hands, but I do talk with my hands even when I'm recording a voiceover. Okay. I'm going back to that pretty blue floral tissue paper that we used earlier. Use the iron, and we're going to attach that. Now, when you're sanding things down to get the excess off, if you have any angles, just use your scissors and snip that, and that will make it a lot easier. And we're just gently sanding away from us once again so that we don't lift up the paper. And then I wanted to embellish our little birdhouse. And I have this medallion, this floral medallion from a friend of mine gave this to me. Kendra at Late Night Creations, she had gave me some molds that she had poured, which is great because I don't have all of that stuff. So that was nice of her to share with me. Thanks, Kendra. And then I wanted to paint it, and I was once again just mixing up some paints, trying to find a color. I just was grabbing random paints. I did not buy anything for these projects, and so I was just trying to mix them up until I found a color that I thought went well with the tissue paper. I wanted it to be contrasting, but in my head I was thinking of like cornflower blue, and I should have just saved myself some time and looked it up to begin with. I didn't use the exact colors, but I did find like instructions, and it was like blue, purple, and white. Anyways, ultimately I got the color I wanted by adding a little bit of purple, and so I'm not a professional at the mixing of paint colors, but have fun with it. But if you are looking for something in particular, just look it up. Someone else knows better than you if you don't know what to do. So that's my recommendation. So eventually I get the color I want. I did give that another coat. Now this has so many details on it, this resin mold, and so I just got in there really good with my paintbrush, and I did use my heat gun on a low, like without like high heat, to help speed that up drying because there was all of the grooves, and I tried to not let any of the paint pool in those grooves so that it wouldn't take too long to dry. And then I'm going to use my super glue wood glue from the Dollar Tree. This glue is really good, and we're going to attach our metal roof. Now mine had already popped off, but if you are trying to take things off like that, usually if you just go in with a little heat gun or hair dryer to soften the glue, it'll help those things come off, those pieces come off of Dollar General and Dollar Tree projects or decor pieces, sorry. And then I used my little clips from Dollar Tree to hold that on while it dried. And then we're going to use more of that wood glue super glue to attach our little medallion. Now this is going to add a nice interest piece. It's also going to cover our little hole from the hole for the birdhouse and also the little hole from the wood peg. You'll never know it's there. If the back side of this bothers you, then go ahead and cover it, but it does have a piece of twine, so this is going to be used as a hanging piece. And then I don't always do words, but I did want this one to have words. I found this in my stash from the Dollar Tree, and I just added the little word blessed. And then very little paint on my stencil brush, dry brushing it, wiping it off on a paper towel. I'm going to go over that with some white paint because that really pulls out the details from this mold. And I love how this looks. Let me know what you think about it. I enjoy having these pretty pieces to decorate for springtime. Let me know what you guys think down below. And also, don't forget to give this video a like if you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. I'm having trouble with my words, but I think you know what I'm trying to say.
That's it for today's video. I would love it if you would say hello down in the comments. Let me know which one is your favorite, or maybe just leave me like a flower emoji to let me know that you are here. And subscribe if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up to help me out. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.